I said it at the time, it's not just two, normal riders that are going up the road, two very, very strong riders, and I think it will be kind of all hands to the pump.
Here we go.
And it was Quinn Simmons that went. I really do not think this was said at the team meeting with Evenepoel. He was just following at this moment, but as soon as he looked behind and saw that gap, then he wants to do most of the riding here.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they're starting to share the duties now. Quick check over the shoulder. 10.7 kilometres from home. There's a feeling that this has got some great possibilities, Brian, this pairing.
Well, the thing is, Medellin can't let this one go out. You've got to remember that Remco Evenepoel is, just over a minute up, or a minute off the general classification here. So Bora are being put under pressure to deliver. I would think that, the team of Medellin will not want this as well. This kind of pressure inside the last 10 kilometres. Movistar will want to ride as well. So you could say that's old saying, cat and pigeons.
I thought you were saying cat and mouse, but anyway, I'll go with the pigeons. Cat amongst the pigeons, yes. Well, they've certainly kicked over a hornet's nest here because absolutely everybody's getting involved now. Total Energies, but you've got to believe in this pair. Quinn Simmons can really inject some pace. We've seen him do it in the past. We've seen him do it in this race. He's already got a stage to his name. Evenepoel, of course, the world champion, thought that he had a chance on the climb up to Alto Colorado. I think they've got more than a chance here. I think I'm going to start to believe in them because it's a very uncommitted chase. We've seen a few taking an option on it, but can't make it stick just for the time being. Brandon Rivera having a go. Pippo Garner, of course, very well placed within this race as well. But they're getting themselves into colour order. 9 kilometres still to go. No defined gap for us as far as telemetry is concerned. But this is fantastic. What a spectacle to finish off, Brian.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. I just remind everybody that Evenepoel needs 1 minute and 19 seconds, which is 1:09 if you factor in the bonus. So, he's very capable of doing that, and he's got someone else that is thinking about that as well. 1 minute and 46 seconds. I did say at the start of the programme that there was 2 jerseys up for grabs that hadn't really kind of been won, and one of them was the best under 23 rider, and Quinn Simmons was 5 seconds behind Riccatello. So there's every reason to ride those 2 riders in front, Evenepoel and Quinn Simmons.
Yeah, but they need a gap. Just remind us what the gap is for Evenepoel. What does he need to find out there? There's bonus seconds at the line, don't forget.
1:19 and 1:46.
There we are. Well, that's a big ask, I think. I think if they just stay away, and indeed Evenepoel takes the stage, if he does, Quinn Simmons will get the yellow Young Riders jersey as well, with any kind of gap, because there's a couple of there's bonus seconds to be had at the line as well. So there is 61 kilometres per hour. If anyone could sustain this, it's Remco Evenepoel. We've seen him, Brian, as part of the lead out for Fabio Jakobsen, coming very, very late. We expected him to peel off with a couple of kilometres to go, but not a bit of it. He was taking the team right into town. He's in great form. Absolutely remarkable. And look at the pace. He has no fear, Brian, at moments like this.
No, he doesn't. He may have feared, sprinting in a group, because his first victory in any sprint was in Tour of Norway last year. Until then, he had never won a sprint final. So this is clearly an opportunity and an all-out effort to try and win the race. He needs just over 1 minute. 1 minute and 19. You factor in the bonuses at the end, it will be about 1:09. So this is the world champion trying to win the race, because he's got to remember he's got Fabio Jakobsen behind. So with Quinn Simmons here, he's already shown that he can sprint well towards the end of a race. So this is clear. The world champion is trying to get the time back to try and win the race. Quinn Simmons, he could possibly win the stage and also take that under 23. So both of them have got every reason to ride here.
Did you see the little bit of a jinx there, a jink out? Yeah, there's some conversations going on, and the Ineos Grenadiers had a bit of a chit-chat, not only amongst themselves but with other teams as well, and they have disintegrated as a fighting unit here. Well, there's other teams actually intermingled with them. They want to share the duty, and I think there's a bit of negotiation going on here. Total Energies have actually come and put their hands to the pumps as well, as you can see. But there is no real focus to the drive. It's far more dialed in with this duo up front. Here are the flags just describing the wind to you. It's a crosswind they're dealing with, but there's a lot of protection once they come over this sort of interchange rise. It will fall in a moment, and I think so as some ambitions here. They're kind of stamping on the pedals. They're looking at each other. Steph Truss trying to dig in here. This would be an amazing steal by both of these two to get something out of this race at the very death, Brian. 57 kilometres an hour.
It would be, but I'm really interested in knowing this gap now, because it's going to be a 28 seconds now. It's not going to be enough you'll move. Both of them will move up in the general classification, but you have to consider this now, Carlton. Evenepoel and Quinn Simmons, by the riding behind, it doesn't look as if they're going to get enough time to deliver the stage. However, having this gap, 27 seconds, maybe 30 seconds inside the last 5 kilometres, is a stage win up for grabs. We know that Evenepoel was not overly confident in sprinting, but Quinn Simmons wants that time to take that best young riders jersey. Exactly, and of course, Quinn Simmons has already won a stage, so Evenepoel has to watch this situation, and I think he'll be getting orders back from Davide Bramati, because I don't think he's going to get enough time for the overall, but potentially Evenepoel could be winning the stage.
That's what he's after, and I wouldn't even be surprised if it's almost scripted between the pair of them. They're not going to be able to exchange too many words, but eyebrow semaphore between the pair of them. It's clear. Quinn Simmons is going to get the young riders jersey. I think he'll try and win it, but I think Evenepoel will have the drop on him. If indeed we get there, there's an imbalance in the pace between those out front and the chase. It's reasonably significant, but I think they'll hold on. If they are going to get caught, it'll be in the last sort of 500 metres. They're strong, this pairing. We know that about the pair of them. Both have what it takes to go very, very long. Evenepoel, I don't know whether there's any kidology going on here. There is a brief exchange between the pair of them in terms of work rate. I'm not quite sure whether they can shred the alliance between them. They've got to work on and then make it an honest endeavour at the very end. Let's say 3.8 kilometres only before the last. Has the peloton mistimed it? We talked about mistimed peloton and indeed the sprinters being denied, and I'm just wondering whether the same thing is going to happen right here, Brian.
Well, it's going to be touch and go. It looks like this is Bodnar now riding. Ineos is there as well, the team of Italy up towards the front, but it doesn't seem to be real panic there. No. Pérez Sagana's got 2 riders in front of him, so I think, without the camera work we're seeing at the moment, I think they're thinking it's going to come back together, and it looks as if it is. So it was always going to be an opportunity for both of these riders. Both of them are riding, but just the fact that nobody was really panicking meant that we're going to be brought back, and they are. The only thing missing now is one man in the lead out for Fabio Jakobsen.
It is. Evenepoel has spent his matches, as they say, and here comes DSM with Sam Welsford. We haven't mentioned them all day, save to say that they did a great job yesterday. And look who's mobbing the right-hand side of the road. DSM in full chat. Yolo Kometa, Lonardi's being guided up here. He's being guided in by Sella. Lonardi's second wheel behind his teammate. There's a few other options as well. So, apologies, we didn't have a gap or indeed a camera shot that described the gap to us. And finally, there is none. It's time to dig in and go home. It's Lozcano who's doing the pace setting for Movistar. Fernando Gaviria waiting to see him pop up. The Italian team are all primed, set and ready. Pinazzi will be their man. He's in third wheel at the moment. Just tucked in behind Morrow. Panetze, as described, number 143 in the Azzurro in the middle of the road. Still holding station, doing a fantastic job. Jonas Koch is coming up now for Bora Hansgrohe. So Sam Bennett's not going to be that far away from the front. Wait for him to reveal himself. This is going to be an enthralling one. 1900 metres to go. Flamme Rouge is beckoning. Absolutely committed now. This is that pre-absolute explosive phase that we are in right now, but everyone's primed and ready. This is going to be great, Brian.
It's a holding pattern for the moment, but you can see that the DSM and the Black are further up than they were at this moment yesterday. So they're only down to, 3 riders in front of Welsford. So it's a late movement by some of the others into this last kilometre now.
I think they're all here, Brian. The entire DSM team is lined up. That is a magnificent train. If they want to go for it, then they've got manpower, that's for sure. Looking for Peter Sagan, who actually looks reasonably lively as well. And here we go. We had to get a flyer, and it's coming along from around the outside, Brian. And it's Medellin, isn't it?
No, he's just getting to the front now, but DSM going. They didn't do this yesterday, whether it's going to benefit them. So 1 kilometre to go, DSM now at the front. Now come Sagan and company with the Total Energies, and also Soudal Quick-Step.
Moving in. Sagan's just biding his time at the moment. He's interfered with the Bora train, and now he's offering up a bit of shoulders. He wants to get onto this train. Of course he does. It's the Welsford train. Sagan's embedded here. He's got a man a little bit further up ahead of him, but he's not going to use him. And here come DSM. They're mobbing the field. They've lit it up, however. Oh, let's wait and see. Great work here by Murko. In fact, is he going to make the steal? Is he just going to help himself? Where on earth is the European champion? We're waiting. There's lots of movement lateral here, and Welsford's going to come up and around the outside by the looks of things. Sam Bennett's also getting involved very laterally here. Oh, at the barriers. And I think Peter Sagan almost tore a barrier there as he went for the inside line. Phenomenal finish, Brian. DSM have just really strung it together here.
Yeah, that was Jakobsen up against the barriers there.
Was it?
Big inhale of breath
shredding.
There as he just clipped the barrier there, and that was a little bit messy, that sprint there. There's a lot of gaps not opening, but we can say that we've got our first double up with Welsford there, and he did say that these 2 days were going to suit him, and he's saying that and delivering it. But clearly in this type of course, the fastest, there's our winner of the overall, Miguel Angel Lopez. But yeah, let's wait for the replay in that. That was quite dicey there.
It was really sketchy. I saw some of the hoardings being shredded. Eyes were dancing all over the place, but dancing to the line. Sam Welsford doubles up, and look how delighted he is. Great teamwork. They did it in a different way as well, which bodes extremely well. They're not one trick. There's plenty of ways to get Welsford where he needs to be. Well, terrific finish. I was very worried at the end there, Brian. It did look like there was a lack of space in the end.
Yeah, well, hopefully we see the replay. But yeah, they did it in a different way. I was trying to work out what Soudal Quick-Step were doing there, because they had Lampard in the front, and I think he was told to swing over early. And he did, and then Murkow went for it, and Jakobsen never followed. He was trying to find his own way through, and it just got a little bit chaotic there. And as you say, Carlton, different to yesterday where they came up late, they took it on early. But I think that in this type of sprint, there's 2 different types of sprints here. So you can see that Murkow goes right, Welsford and company go to the right-hand side. Nizzolo was there in the barrier side, but Sam Bennett just in front. You look at the European champion, he's kind of blocked and nowhere to go. Neither is Sam Bennett. He's kind of further back as Sam Van Poppel's there. But just as we open up in the right hand side with Nizzolo, Sam was Welsford's on the wheel, and then for some reason Jakobsen decides to go to the right hand side here. Just wait for this bridge, and he goes for the gap. He goes for this gap. Oh, he hits. I don't know what came off there.
Was it a phone? Was it
He
somebody's
hit a phone, yeah. He hit someone at the side and the phone dropped to the floor there, but he got second place. But it's all these split-second decisions. I don't think he was ever going to beat Welsford. He seemed to be the fastest today and yesterday, but another huge risk. We talk about this on other occasions. Do you lose the kind of bottle after an incident that Jakobsen had? Do you lose the bottle? So just hitting somebody with a phone there, and if it's his eyewear and the phone, it comes off there. So very dangerous. It's another call for double barriers and a finishing straight like that. It's another call for that for the UCI. We said this all along. But, that could have been really nasty with that phone, glasses off. But I don't think he's going to beat Welsford. But we talk about this, the risk. Would he take the risk again? And that answers it. He will take the risks again. Any sprinters would take these risks. But, that was a little bit too close for comfort there.
It was. Goodness me. Well, there we are. Welsford doubles up on the day. It's taken us to 11 p.m. in the United Kingdom, I can tell you that much. So we have our winner. Richesi crosses the line for the last time in competitive cycling. Thank you and good night, he says. Really has been very much his day of departure. But a huge grin on the face of Miguel Angel Lopez, who's taken the title here. And how lovely is that? Great crowd here. They really have fated us all. And just look at the kids as well. They're enthralled by it. Gotta love your cycling. Sam Welsford doubles up. And here's the overhead shot for you, Brian, as well on the approach.
Yeah, this is a drone shot, very difficult to pick out, but we're seeing it yet again. It's Jakobsen deciding to go barrier set. You always take a huge risk doing that. I think Nizzolo just kind of hung on to third place there, but yeah, it's a little bit messier than yesterday. It wasn't the kind of drag race that we had, but in these type of finishes, it looks as if Welsford is king. Going in the performances of the last 2 days.
Certainly does. Extraordinarily quick. And the way his team were able to moderate themselves as well. Here's our winner of the entire race, Miguel Angel López.
Felicitaciones por ganar la Vuelta a San Juan. ¿Cómo te sentís?
Bien, gracias. La verdad que súper contento con este bonito triunfo. La verdad que muchas gracias al equipo, a todos mis compañeros, al Team Medellín. Mil gracias por la oportunidad, por la confianza y por el trabajo de todos estos días. La verdad que nos merecíamos esta bonita victoria. Dedicársela a mi familia, a mi esposa, a mis dos hijos que están en casa muy felices viéndome y la verdad que es una alegría súper bonita en estos tiempos.
¿Se sintió más el calor de la gente en esta etapa considerando que están todos cerca?
Sí, la verdad que súper bonito, todo el circuito lleno de gente, la verdad que es una emoción muy bonita y la afición es increíble.
Lo último, ¿a quién le dedicas la victoria?
A mi esposa y a mis dos hijos que están siempre ahí conmigo, la verdad que es lo más importante para mí en estos momentos.
Bueno, muchas gracias, felicitaciones.
Well, latterly he said it was a win for my friends and, of course, a very important win. He also said he was very, very happy with his team and the opportunities that they have given him, and he's glad to be able to pay them back. It's great to be here, especially with family around. He must have made the trip. And he feels extremely at home in this race. They had to remain very attentive at the start of the day, and the circuit always produces nerves, so they just had to make sure that everything was going to be well. And in the end, as he said, he won it for his friends, and indeed payback for his team. Sam Welsford takes the day ahead of Fabio Jakobsen, went to the barriers. Giacomo Nizzolo was also in the frame. That was your 1, 2, 3. Gidic, Van Poppel, Viviani, Lanardi, Peter Sagan, Aberastori and Zoncanello. It got a little bit rough out there. There was lots of chops and changes, a lot of jumping onto other people's trains and the like. We will hear from our winner, Sam Welsford, in a few moments' time. Doubling up. Those barriers had wavered as well by the looks of things. They were not straight on one side of the road at all.
I just want to give a nod of the head to Nizzolo there, because Nizzolo recognised that there was somebody there, and he never moved. He actually moved slightly to the left. So I think Nizzolo, hats off for doing that. It could have come out a lot worse, Carlton, there.
Yeah.
If you see it. So,
Agreed.
you know, a gentleman's sprint there from Nizzolo. I know these sprinters are all fierce when in the heat of battle, but I think you have to give him the nod there for what happened. But
Here's Wilson.
here he is.
Congratulations for winning today's stage. Second time in a row. How do you feel?
Oh, yeah, thank you so much. It's, look, I'm in disbelief. The boys are, again, just so good in the last lap and looking after me so well. And, you know, we hit the last K and we had 5 guys left. So it was really incredible how well drilled we are, you know, coming into the end of this week. I think, yeah, this is super special for me and it's super special for the team that, you know, you do it once is nice, but then to do it again is even more nice. I think it just shows that what we're capable of as a team. So, yeah, I'm just really stoked.
At that time during the race, do you feel like it was the right time for sprint?
I knew one to go. We had to move up. We sat back quite a lot, and then we knew it was going to be fast the last lap. Like, the circuit is so fast, and it was so loud, and you couldn't barely even hear each other's talk because the crowds were so loud. So that was really nice and really special to, you know, get the win here today in front of all the locals, and like the whole, you know, finish line was packed again. So yeah, no, we could hear the screams the whole way.
Last word to the Argentine and the San Juan people there's here cheering you guys up.
I mean, muchas gracias. It was such an incredible week this week, and yeah, the whole experience was one I'll never forget.
Thank you so much and congratulations, Sam.
A man who's successfully, of course, bridged the gap from track to road, and he's brought a lot of joy to us as well, from being a track junior world champion, and of course winning the Worlds as well for the team pursuits for Australia. He knows the Oceania Championships also going his way. He knows how to lay it down when he needs to. Keeps a great tempo. Jakobsen, I think, looks a little bit disturbed here, and I'm not surprised. There is the moment. Dear me, there's going to be a lot of pictures in his mind, like a flicker book, Brian. The barriers are another place he's thrived in the past.
He goes barrier side. Nothing. Sam Bennett gets caught on the left-hand side. Gaviria, I think he had a mechanical, but this is a huge risk. Either you go left here, or he's got the momentum to go right, and he goes right. Nizzolo, he actually moves slightly to the left to allow that to happen. I know it's only slight, but there's enough room for him to go through. But you take a huge risk doing that, and for someone trying to take a picture there, that could have been a lot worse.
Celebration time. Time as well for us to just about get ready to take a bow. You'll be able to keep in touch with the podiums on digital, we remind you. But first of all, let's look at the provisional. This is our general classification. Miguel Angel Lopez wins the race by a margin of 30 seconds from Filippo Ganna, who's been brilliant in this race as well. Sergio Higuita rounds out the overall podium. But the white jersey with the blue accents reflected of the Argentine flag will be upon the shoulders of Miguel Angel Lopez. He owns it. And it was great to see him back to his best, Brian. He's a phenomenally successful and accomplished rider, and it's nice not to have the other distractions hanging around him and let him do the racing.
Yeah, it was nice to see him win. Nice to see him racing the way he did. I think he surprised himself with his form. I think there's a little bit more to come, but let's see what this team do in the next races. But yeah, you have to think that he seems a little bit happy with this team. But I think anybody that, I always get the question about, dropping down teams. Well, there's a lot of people drop down teams because there's high pressure on World Tour teams, high pressure to deliver all the time. It's a little bit more relaxed when you get to second and third division. You've got to remember, Medellin is a third division continental team. So it's a third division team, but it's not so intense.
And they've got themselves a phenomenal victory here as well. He's brought them great success. It may well be he takes a step back up with other teams if they're prepared to accept what is a complex character, I think it's fair to say. He's had the rough, but this has been a smooth victory for him, Brian.
Pretty smooth, but we've just seen the sprint again. Even Sagan at the moment is just getting blocked. Danny Van Poppel's there, and he's just seeing the left-hand side at the bottom of the screen. Sam Bennett there, Ricchesi, but just look at, it's like gear trouble for Gaviria at the bottom of the screen. So something happened there. Nizzolo leads out, but again he's leading out Welsford. On the wheel is Giric. Giric was just in the wrong place for Jakobsen, so he has to go down barrier side. He has got the opportunity of going left here, but he chooses to go right. Nizzolo keeps that door open, thankfully, but that spectator just hampers. But he was only going to finish second anyway, so that was dangerous there. But Welsford's clear. He's been the fastest over the last 2 days.
It has been like a festival today, Brian.
It's been pretty impressive. I'm really impressed with the crowds. The last few days they've been there, but not the amount that we're seeing now. So, I think a little bit has to do with the winning the World Cup. Looking at sport, and definitely came out in numbers today.
Quiero que le expliques a ese que no está acá, que está criticando en casa, por qué tiene que venir a vivir la Vuelta a San Juan.
Es la pasión, simplemente pasión. Cuando uno... vive la pasión, se muestra el corazón, se hace conocimiento con amor, y todo eso es pasión, nada más que pasión. Y es lo que queremos decir. Esto es lo que queremos, y así lo entendieron, así lo entendió ya hace mucho tiempo, porque el señor Piñán no es el gobernador, apoyando a la gracias a su papá, el gobernador Piñán que venía a la
Aparte de él, que sale, ¿no?
Por supuesto, así dice él, que él disfruta de la libertad.
Totalmente aparte, él decía el número 40, hablemos de número. Sí, es así, es así.
Siempre, cuando hablábamos de esta vuelta, decíamos que esta es la mejor calidad. Yo siempre digo, la que vi. La que está por venir es la mejor.
Porque de verdad, tenés toda la razón, Carlito, porque él está buena. Pero la del próximo año, nada, es espectáculo. De verdad,
Y se viene San Juan, capital americana del deporte. Esto es lo que se viene para San Juan. Esto es lo que se viene para San Juan.
Pero si la gente hablaba de no, porque podemos ser la capital del continente del deporte.
Vamos a lograrlo, vamos a lograrlo.
Estoy seguro.
Vamos a lograrlo.
Ya van llegando los fotógrafos, los medios que estuvieron cubriendo la prensa local, nacional e internacional. Les brindamos el aplauso, ellos fueron los que nos tuvieron informados, ellos fueron los que nos tuvieron a través de las redes, de los medios, con todas las fotos. Acá está.
Y todavía, Carlitos, hay gente en la prensa que es impresionante. Están mandando toda la información, así que de verdad todos, felicitaciones, en serio. Qué verdadera fiesta, Carlos. Digo, es impresionante cómo esta revolución deportiva, como en la provincia de San Juan todo esto mutó y de verdad es coordinación.
day finished. It's the Lopez takes it, draws to People Garner gets himself a shine. Farewell.